So that's nice. You'll never know.
Oh.
Oh, you should have bought my baby sister.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, don't. Mel, we were having a conversation a couple of days ago, or the day before yesterday, I think, saying on about. I said to Mel, I'll drive over to Somerset for Christmas, see me mum and dad, you know, pick some bits up. She said, well, can't really afford the petrol. You know, it's 4 hours, 5 hour drive. You know, well, 2.5 there, 2.5, 3 hours back. That's a lot of petrol money. So she's was, and I think what Mel's always sort of saying is, well, I'd rather spend the money, the petrol money, sending them something rather than going over and giving it to them. You know.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Chris.
Then well, it'd be nice to see me dad for one more time.
Oh gosh.
Flesh, so to speak. How's Brian, Joyce? Is he?
Yeah, he's much improved. Thank you. Yeah.
Get it?
Sorry.
Did you not get?
I'm still negative, and I'm still got my fingers crossed.
Well done.
I'm you know, I don't know how it's not sort of hit me, but hopefully it doesn't.
Oh, what's this, COVID?
Yes. Yeah.
That does happen though, doesn't it? You get one person in the family gets it, but not everybody else.
Well, I've as I say, I've still got my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Has he been quite poorly?
Yeah. And
lots of people have, haven't they?
Yeah, and that's after the booster as well.
Right.
Oh my goodness! Not much hope then, is it?
Well, it was a bit of a surprise.
Because
the cases in Christchurch have gone up by about 1,700 in the last couple of days.
Wow.
No one's taken any.
We've all got a bit complacent, haven't we?
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Chris?
Yeah.
Can't hardly hear you.
You can't hear me.
Oh,
okay.
That's better. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Maybe I
that's
need to just
better.
turn it up. I've turned it up a bit.
Still in plaster.
Your arm, is it still in plot? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh dear.
I'm going to my sister's again on Friday to stay, and
just to get a cooked meal.
No, because normally I'd be away in the caravan avoiding the fireworks, but obviously I can't be. So I'm going over there, and then on Monday she goes to New York for 4 or 5 days. So I'm there dog sitting, my dog and her 2 dogs.
Oh no.
Hoping on Tuesday, I've got the hospital and I'm hoping they're going to take the plaster off. Depend on what the x-rays reveal.
How many weeks is it now?
Oh crikey.
It's usually on about 6, isn't it? 5 or 6.
I'm just having a quick look at my diary. 10th of October. So that's
that's not 6.
No, it's only been 3 weeks so far.
Oh, I doubt if they take it. Well, you might be lucky. Don't know.
Well, it'll be 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, as you get older, it takes longer anyway. Bones don't heal.
It still hurts a lot, so I don't think it's healing very well.
Oh dear.
No.
In that, it heals in the wrong place.
Well, that's why I suppose
there's hundreds of bones in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So
well, I know that one was a clean break and the other was a crack.
Yeah. I know sometimes, not to cheer you up, but sometimes they fuse to the wrong bit.
Well,
then they have to get the hammer out, smash it back.
Oh, that's right. You cheer me up, David. Thank you very much.
They get like, they have like silver, stainless steel
pins. Yeah.
Mallet, and like a pin, and they go back. They re-break the bone, and
I should think they'll put you out for that, Chris, so don't worry.
Oh, I
Um,
don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well, I kind of made that up, but I must have seen it somewhere.
Really?
I wouldn't be
oh.
surprised. Be surprised.
Well, I would.
I had my neighbour came down and hung all my washing out for me yesterday. I think it was yesterday, because it was yesterday morning, because it was nice and blowy and sunny. And then she was going out and she was getting home at 3 o'clock. She goes, "I'll come down and take it in for you."
Oh, it was all wet again.
Oh.
You rained it too.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's all draped around the house at the moment. So,
Oh,
I was telling
it's
Chris
silly
yesterday.
things like that, not being able to peg washing out. I mean, it's
Yes.
stupid. You just can't do it with your hand, especially a left hand.
I was telling
Wheelie,
Chris.
wheelie bins blew over in the night, and I could hear them banging and crashing in the cul-de-sac. But I did manage to go and retrieve those this morning. So
I've
that
left
was all right.
I've left mine out on the drive lying flat. The recycle one's all right. It's in between those two wooden log things. But the
Yeah,
other one's on the end, and I heard it. I thought I know what that is, but I just feel once it's laying flat, it's the garden waste one, and there's no waste in it at the moment. So
no, my bins are never got a lot in, and I think they were just so light they just both went over.
I just pushed it against the wall. But my drive, where you two seen it, is a wind tunnel. The wind comes down the road and straight down through. Hence the reason all the fence panels down the drive are trellis. There's no point in putting a.
No,
It cost me £100 a year or whatever it was to keep replacing fence panels.
yeah.
I was saying to Chrissy when I went to the doctors. I had to go to the doctors. I was like, doctor, I got a strawberry up my bottom. And she just laughed and said, "So I got some premium for that."
oh dear.
Oh, I nearly fell off the cup there.
I've just realised, because we're not all on one screen, on my screen, we've actually got Anne this morning. Hi, Anne.
Yeah.
Oh, she's turned over a new leaf.
Brilliant. It's it. First of the month. That's it.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Yes.
Right, I've got a vision of strawberries now. Not fun.
Oh, that's nice.
I got told off.
Oh.
Anne told me off because it was too bright last night.
Oh.
So I've redone it.
Oh.
I think I've done something with the old software, and but sometimes it works really well. Gordon sent me his. I was looking at just a few seconds ago. You'll see it in a minute. I think
Whose is that one? Is that
this is
yours?
Anne's.
Oh, this is Anne's. Oh, that's nice.
I like the material.
Yeah, that was so hard to do.
Yes,
wasn't it? God.
absolutely.
Tell me about it. I washed mine. I stuck mine in the shower with the shower head on a fine
Oh
knot.
no.
Washed it off. Well, I put solid paint. Oh god.
Yeah.
Tell you the truth though, after I painted it, messed about with it, washed it off, and all the stained colour in it, it's looking not too bad now.
Mine's a bit dark.
Just left it. Yeah, I think it wasn't a pleasant experience. That I said, like, should have focused more on that than the orange was easy. It was just a blob of orange, yellow and red, and off you went. Especially on the not finished paper. That's Carol. Oh, look.
Wow. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I did most of that in gouache. I quite like that. Yeah, because this thing over in the corner, I tried to do a turn-up leaf, and I thought I'd covered it over. When I look at it, I can't see it, but it's shown up on there. So that little thing in the corner was supposed to be a little curled up leaf, but
Yeah, well done, that. I was speaking to my well, I sent a looks all right on the board. Let's stretches of paper. Well done. I was talking to a lad this morning. Oh, who's that? That's Chrissy. One Arm Chris.
Oh, great
Yeah.
job, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you get all the little dimples in it? Just
I had a very, because it's
Fine.
acrylic, and I had a lot of paint and a very stiff sort of old brush, and I just stabbed it all over.
literally.
Great effect.
Yeah, it looks wet, doesn't it?
A good watercolor term, that, isn't it? Stabbed it.
It's
Good
fun.
paint. I'll just what I want a canvas. Very striking.
Mm.
I was quite pleased with that one.
Yeah, I think when you get your other arm back, you could perhaps tidy up around the edges a bit, and it'll be like a masterpiece.
I never go back to painting.
No, do I?
No, no. I've had enough of it by then. Oh,
It's already off the board in the pile.
It's
As soon as
fine.
it's dried up, it's filed.
No, it looks fine. It's I think Gordon's I turned into a piece of modern art. Wherever, oh, there it is.
oh, that was
Oh,
different.
wow.
I think that might. I'm not sure if that's the. No, that's the one I. Trouble is, if I use the software to tweak it, to balance the colors out, sometimes it has a different effect than what you want. That was what Gordy sent.
Oh, right.
Of course, when you balance the colors out, it
Looks good.
turns it
Yeah.
completely. So I never know how close or how far away I am. I quite like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Nice composition.
Yeah.
Still good, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Trust me
Well,
to be different. Not content with one orange. He has to have a whole.
well, and then
Nice.
Oh, we know who that is.
Joyce doing
Joyce.
traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Didn't quite turn out as I had planned.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I got too many layers of paint on the orange and just didn't work for me.
Looks
It
fine.
looks good.
Oh, thank you.
Say things like that to me, I'll just whack it in the shower. But add it on the board, because it's on the board, so I can put it on the edge, get the shower head, and sort of selectively, because I can adjust it so I get a really narrow beam of water. I can sort of target certain areas, but it's a bit hit and miss. That's very good, actually. I was saying, a friend of mine went to just come back from holiday to Namibia, whatever that, over there, Africa. And he's been posting some great pictures of lions and elephants. They don't
Not
look
more elephants.
anything like the ones we were painting. These look like real skin and bone. They're not well fed things like they just come out of a zoo. These things are they're out there doing it. There's one picture. Well, I won't go into what the lion was doing, but yeah, I won't be using that one as a reference. But I sent him a message saying, do you mind if I use these for a reference? And so we've got some real wild animals. We haven't done a lion. So we've got some lions in the pipeline. I was well chuffed with that. But he's been out in the desert as well. So there's some amazing reference images. Yeah, well done, Joyce. I like that.
Thank you. Thanks.
yeah.
Well, it's always like when I get the email and I look at it's the first reaction, isn't it? And my first reaction was, nice to see someone's done the foreground stuff really nice.
Oh,
But then I got some I mixed up some green and in a thing, a load of it, painted mine. And I thought, I ain't going there. It ain't working. Back in the shower. Yeah, that was good. Well done.
Thank you.
Today's one is evil, isn't it? It's evil eye. Actually, Chrissy says, what was it you said, Chris, about it? Something about
Her eyebrows, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
No way I'm plucking my eyebrows. Yeah. It wasn't till I reread it the next day that I suddenly realised what she meant. I thought she meant like, oh, she didn't want to do that painting with one hand. Then I read it again. I thought plucking your eyebrows, they don't look too bad. The thing I was
They look too good either.
No, they don't. Not very attractive.
I wasn't sure if some of the hair is coming down from the fringe, so that's what like that big long strand is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's red, isn't it? She's
Yeah.
dyed her hair red by the looks of it.
Oh, this is going to be a nightmare, you know.
Oh yeah. You can one with the piercing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That looks the easiest bit.
anyone buying
Piercing.
silver paint, they're in for a treat, aren't they?
Did you do the eye that way because you're left-handed? Because I would have done it the other way. Can we turn it round the other way? Because that's going to be hard for us to do that way.
No, just leave it.
Oh,
Just this week.
oh yeah, because of you, Chrissy. I was thinking the day that did he choose an eye that way? Oh,
It's just
You can
yeah, but you can
do it either way.
vertical flip it like that, I suppose. Now I've seen that, I prefer that myself.
Oh no.
They flip it like now.
Uh,
It was only when I got to the image and zoomed in and the printing, I thought, oh my god, all that, is it mascara or something?
yes.
Oh, what an awful thing to put on your well, obviously didn't look very healthy when I zoom in on it. They look like spiders.
I just want to get her eyebrows sorted out.
You're going to have all pristine eyebrows.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Do you think we should just
Do
Forget
something.
all about us. Yeah.
paint something else? No. I think we should it might be just a thing to, I don't know, sort of ignore them for the time being and then either put them on with a watercolor pencil or
Oh, what, the eyebrows, eyelashes.
the eyes, with the eyebrows, the hair is so fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Painting that would
Isn't
be
it?
a flipping night. Well, we'll find out in a minute. Everyone can have a laugh. I'm going to go for it. I don't care.
You're trying to do fine lines left-handed with a paintbrush and
got no chance.
No,
Well, I reckon
I might have to get a biro out.
that's a good idea. A biro, that's what I meant. Something like a biro or a, yeah, a biro would do it. A black biro. Putting ideas in my head now. Let's. I'll change the microphone and we'll have a laugh. We're recording, aren't we? Still. What does it say at the top? Yeah, it says. I'm paranoid about that. I'm getting paranoid about it. I got soap this morning. I'm going to need a hairdryer.
Dry yourself off.
Pardon?
What's that? To dry yourself off?
I dried the dog off when I got home.
Oh,
You don't like that. It's not too
Why
keen on a hairdryer.
oh, we haven't been out for 2 days.
Well, I've kept me. I've stuck to my task with the tissue. I've carried on with that. theme, they're great doing it like this because you get to have your sketch ready if you ever want to do it again as a reference thing, and they don't take up a lot of space. All these bits of paper and that, they end up. I'm lucky I can throw them away now.
Is anybody else upside down?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you drawing it up, doing it upside down, are you?
No, he's up the top end, whereas normally he's down the bottom.
Oh, yeah, you're
Up at the
upside down,
bottom.
Dave.
Yeah.
No, your hands are at the top.
Oh yeah.
The eyes upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dave's
And
upside
yeah,
down.
and Dave.
How did I fix that? I don't know. I don't know how to fix. I haven't got a clue how to fix that.
The first time that's happened.
We all have to stand on our heads.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Oh, I can. Yeah. Hang on.
Yes, are completely confused, isn't it?
Yeah.
Video settings.
Well, I thought he turned the picture upside down.
Yeah, I didn't
Pretty
realise till Chris.
And when you said about
Pauline.
the hand, I thought, oh yeah, he's upside down as well.
Oh dear.
What's that done? That's mirrored it. How do I do that? I don't know. I can probably fix it. I can fix it. Well, that is peculiar because.
Yeah, but when you showed us the picture of the eye, you had it round the right way. What was you on then?
It's to do with the camera, isn't it? But I haven't got a clue how to reverse, how to revolt. I'm just trying to think. Because there's no switch on the video thing. I've got video settings.
Why don't you try coming out off of it and then going back on, see if anything happens.
Don't think that's going to do it.
No, you're right.
Or have to watch it upside down, round the wrong way.
Well, if Dave turns his board upside down and paints upside down, we'll get the right
Yeah.
image.
That's right.
You've got to paint upside down. Right.
I wouldn't know.
In there.
You have. What have we done that's different though?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
oh no.
Hands in the dark. I can't hear anything. Hands talking, but I can't hear a word.
Oh.
And she's in the dark. It's going to be one of those mornings, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. How can I do it? I don't know how.
Is your
I
camera up the right way? Or does that make no difference?
Well, I can't change it. Everything in front that's just.
No.
I don't know. I can't think of a way. Hang on.
Well, you're recording it, so somebody on YouTube next week might tell you.
Type in video. I won't spend a lot of time. I'll think about it. Video settings. video. Got one for camera, but that's not going to. I didn't do that. More directions, distance, video settings. You think you'd be able to do it in there, wouldn't you? Original ratio, HD. Advanced. Hang on, what's advanced? Virtual background, recording, feedback, video. Oh, I've never had it before. See, I was testing it this earlier, thinking this is working. Yeah, it's all right on the what's it, because I can turn it, I can reverse it when I do the YouTube thing. Why would you want? I don't know. Hang on. Well, if I go to for 2 seconds, I'll do it quickly and then I'll just click on anyway, and then rotate it when I come to do the post it. You just have to, if you turn your head, rotate.
If we do a handstand. Yeah.
Problem.
Zoom. Don't think you can do it on Zoom. Hey, video. Okay, click preference settings, click on video tab. Hover over the preview of your camera. No, that's so. Log into your Zoom client. Click the video tab. Hover over the preview of your camera. In the top right, click rotate button. Ah, got it.
Wow. Everybody seems to be having technical issues this morning.
Mm.
That ran the right way now?
No.
No.
Oh dear.
Plunged into darkness with no microphone. I didn't get my email. That's those Halloween spookies, because I didn't do any treats last night.
Oh, shouldn't think there were many people out, were there, in that weather?
Well, there was a few round here.
Were there?
Yeah, I could hear them out.
On Facebook this morning on the local one, and there was hundreds out.
Oh, really? Oh, gosh.
I definitely didn't say anything because it's just now they just say, don't you, if you leave a light on or a porch or put a pumpkin out or a candle or something.
Yeah.
But I don't do any of that.
Oh,
I
now
don't
it's gone
know.
sideways. It's gone
Oh,
sideways now.
Oh, we're getting closer.
Calm down. I'm on a
That's
winner.
not
I'm
quite
on a
so
roll.
bad.
I'm on a roll.
No, it's gone back
No,
again.
Come back.
Oh,
Yay!
Yeah.
Last.
What? Remember what you did, just
I
in
did.
case. Write it down before you forget.
So I'll edit all that out. No, what it was, or what it is, my computer blew up. Well, my hard drive failed, which was the hard drive that Windows and that I bought just about a year ago, that Windows and everything was installed on. So that drive failed, which meant I had to transfer or copy everything onto a new drive. You know, it's a major thing. And obviously the settings in for Zoom were also part of that thing. So, hang on a sec, I need a bit of paper. Everyone's going to be laughing at me because I'm the one that's going to make all the mistakes today. I'm doomed. I know I'm doomed. The quandary you've got, and it might be worth practicing before you start, is to decide which part I'm on about the eyeball. Sorry, how to approach it. I don't know. It's a chicken and egg thing. It's down to you, or down to whoever paints it. So I've sketched the eye, so I'm just putting clean water. I'm using hot press paper as well. So
Dave, what size of paper have you got?
beg your pardon?
What size of paper have you
It's
got?
about A3 on here.
Oh, is it? All right, it's huge then.
Yes, it's what I normally do is I get the imperial sheets and cut them into quarters, because it's just about, well, it's more or less the right size. Yeah, it is. So I've got even more to worry about. So
we can do nice little ones, can't we?
well, yeah, I did do some practice ones on a practice one. I'll show you in a sec, because I couldn't work out the best way to do this, and I still don't know. So I'm just going to use clean water on there and mix up a bit of colour first. Now, colour-wise, I've got a light, normal sort of Alzerian crimson, magenta, just a light red, and added some raw sienna, which gives us flesh. Now I was looking at the eye, and I was thinking, well, in actual fact, the colours almost imitate flesh. It all comes out the same body. Then I was lying in bed this morning thinking about how to approach it, and I thought, well, maybe some burnt sienna might be nice. So you can see what I mean about chicken and egg quandary. I can't make up my mind the best way to do it myself. I've got a little bit of shadow colour here from last week, usual turquoise and red, or blue and burnt sienna. I'll give you a turquoise, a tint, shadowy tone. But I notice if I added a little bit extra blue to it, it gives a nice sort of off an eye shade blue. Well, that's my interpretation of it. One of the colours you could use, if you've got it in your armoury, is Terry Harrison's Shadow.
Oh yeah.
I've got a funny feeling that is a little bit of Terry Harrison's shadow colour there. With all I've done is added a bit of blue to it. I think it was there from last week, but I used that same area in my palette as the neutral tone, tint tone area, patch, whatever you like to call it. This is one of those occasions where us painting in watercolor, you're better off doing it in layers, which is one of the pluses of watercolor anyway.
think I need new glasses. Have I said that before? Yeah, you have. Shut up. I'm just going to do that for a minute. And what I said, I mixed up a load of, well, a little puddle of, I think I'll stick on my original thing, get a blob of raw sienna, because it's all wet. I want some water to do some work. Bit of raw sienna on top of that, I think. It's got that gold, a reddish gold about it. And I think the quality of your paint is going to be a factor as well. By that, I mean the raw sienna that I'm using isn't top dollar. It's, what's the word? Stodgy. As soon as I put it on, I thought, I'm just dropping it in. I did put a bit of dark in the middle, so hopefully it'll say. Different mediums will have different effects on this, won't it? The whole ball is I just like that way that we'll see and just puddle, but it's such a hit and miss thing unless you've practiced and done this about a dozen times and you know exactly what's likely to happen. Using watercolor, you is a shot in the dark because you know what's going to happen. The paint is going to soak itself into the paper, so the type of paper that you're using is going to affect everything for a start off. So because some papers will absorb more than others. Your own eyesight, the way you see it, is going to make everyone's different as well. Because I'm already looking at this thinking I've not done right. But I'm stuck with it now. I'm looking at, yeah, I can see what's happened there. Well, I don't care. Well, I do, but I can't stop now. But normally, I think it's a layers issue. You need to do a certain amount, stop. Ooh, that's not right. Build it up in layers. I need a flat piece of tissue. But ultimately, if it doesn't go, if you're not happy being watercolor, just scoop it all up. I'm at an angle, so everything's running down anyway. So go back up. We'll lift those bits out in the middle, or a bit of it. Otherwise, she needs to go to see an optician quick. Oh dear. I need to find a suitable brush. Better hurry up, Dave. Yeah, okay. As I say, it's a layers thing in watercolor. Do a bit and then come back. But it does, there is some of that central bit does go down the bottom. I need to lift off some paint here. With me straight bit. Tissue straight out of the doodah. Am I bothered? Nah, it's all good fun. it wasn't. It's not supposed to be easy anyway. It was supposed the whole object of the exercise is to learn something new. So and what I want is a brush that'll lift and paint off. And the only one that's really good at it, if I remember rightly, is the little mop. It's got a point on it. If you do, I think, well, I know that if you were doing this in a much more controlled way, that's what you just build it up with very light washes rather than going straight in like I've done there. Still, it's out of context at the moment anyway. By that I mean we're only seeing one element of the picture, and the others should hopefully come into play and tease it off. Does anybody sense a blob of white paint coming in at some point? Just to well, we've always got that in our armory. Few bits. Let's have a notice how I started with the hardest bit first. Absolute fool. I ordered £100 worth of paper just now before I got onto the Zoom. What did I order? As I mentioned last week, I've gone for the Langton brand. So I ordered 10 sheets of the normal Langton paper, not finished, which is just the little bobbly ones. I figured that'd be great for landscapes. £140 in weight. Don't know what it was in jisms. And 2 lots, which is 5 sheets of each, of the same, but in the prestige version of it, which should be fun. I thought, well, if I get a commission or somebody wants a painting, it'd be better to use good quality, but the better quality one. Saying that, the little green pad I've got here is Langton. I think it is. Yeah, that's the normal stuff. And that's a not finish. If it comes out like, if it's anything like this, I'll be really pleased. Because I noticed last night when I was doodling with this eye thing that it didn't soak straight into the paper and be gone, so I could still lift it off, you know, a good half hour later and play with it, which you don't get with the Two Rivers stuff. Well, the not Two Rivers isn't too bad, but this stuff, the Arches, I wouldn't recommend that again. In my palette, I've got a colour called Peach, which I was going to use the hairdryer on this bit. 2 secs. Could be a could regret doing it this way, but hey ho. For a penny and for a pound, I've done it now. And I haven't put masking fluid on the stud thing. I just figured, well, thinking out loud, that it's a man-made object. So if I paint it in any other paint, whether it's gouache, acrylic, anything you want, it's man-made, isn't it? So if it'll have a solid non-watercolor feel to it. So if it's got that, I don't care. It won't not that I don't care, that's not the word. It'll look okay to stand out as a more solid object. I'm looking at it, it's just a blob of white and some grey or neutral tints dabbed in. You could paint the whole thing. If you got some silver, paint it silver and just put some white highlights on it, because that's what Christine's going to do with her acrylic. I'm just painting trying to avoid the eyeball. I was damned if I did and damned if I didn't, which way round to do it. The colour I said in my palette is peach, which I don't know why I was using. As long as I don't get green peaches. Well, yeah, looks like I might. Can't make up my mind if that's gone green or not. Different. Be do a sort of a Martian skin effect, wouldn't it? You see how some paint stain has that sort of stain factor in it. So it's stained into the plastic. Amazing, isn't it? But anyway, I don't know about you guys, but I got my palette, and sometimes there's colours in there that I've obviously bought, and I haven't touched that peach for flipping ages. And I thought, I want to use it up. You've got all these colours, and if you never use them, what was the point? So yesterday I was thinking, I'm going to use peach because it's so close to a skin tone, isn't it? I've still got the skin tone part of my palette in here. So I've just I've put peach in there, but there's still the skinny tone that I mixed up. And while it's damp, I know I can enhance it. Whoops. We'll mix up some more in a minute, just to prove that we're not stuck with one colour. It's just a base, isn't it? Which is what I was thinking. If you do it first, is that the right way to go? Or do you do it after the eyeball? So there's a decision that only good artists would know. So that leaves me out. Indecisive Dave. The Stamp It firework display is not on this year. It's famous, isn't it, that one? It's just down the road from me. They've cancelled it because Stamp It recreation ground used to be, just a few years before I arrived, 37 years ago, at some point it was council, a council tip. Yeah. And they've had to count, so they've been running the firework display and all that on there for the last 40 years. But the council have said they run tests on sites that were landfills, and there's the gas coming up is a bit dodgy for fireworks. There's a bit too much gas coming up. So I've mixed up a bit of skin tone, the red and raw sienna. Just drop some in here and there. Try and highlight a few bits. I thought this would be a good exercise anyway, to give us a feel of, because we're always painting these eyes on portraits, and I'm not into the medical side of it, painting people's, researching the muscles of figures and all that sort of stuff. It's fascinating, but have I got enough years in my life left to sit there working out that kind of study? I don't think I have. I don't think so. My heart's not in it. I haven't got time. Oh, Joyce, I was thinking I got a rollicking off me mum for not ringing her up.
Oh.
I know you were silent, and I thought, I know what Joyce is thinking. I did ring her up in the end, and I got a rollicking for not ringing her up before. Oh, I thought, oh no.
You sure aren't? Is she okay?
Yeah, they're still. I said, that's the words that I used. Are you okay? And all I got back was, no, I'm not.
Oh.
I thought, oh dear. Well, I did say, I'd actually been ill myself with the setback around the same time that she had COVID. I was walking around here with a steaming head cold and sore throat and all the rest of it. But I didn't test myself or anything. I just went to the chemist and spread it around so make sure everybody else got a dose. No, I didn't. Honest. I went to a COVID jab, that was all. This is quite fun, isn't it? Like, a bit like having a tooth pulled out, really. It's just a matter of, it is just layers, isn't it? You just got to you do a bit, walk away, come back, do a bit more. A lot of it is down to how wet you want your paper. Or that's what I said right from the start. Certain, depending on the paper that you're using, will determine how you proceed with it. Because some papers will dry quick and soak the water in, and you'll have to sort of get to a stage like this where you'll look at it, you'll see the sheen going across. You can, mine actually, if you look at the picture, you can see it's cockling a bit where it's wet, and you'll just have to sort of think, well, I don't want to put any paint on there just yet, because it's going to go whoosh like that and spread. But then again, you might be in a position where you think, if it does, oops, see what I mean? I wanted that to be a fine line, well, not quite wild and brazen leaf sploshy like that, but equally part of it does need to be like that, where it's right at the bottom. So that it's a, be warned, it's a good there's an exercise here for
Disaster.
no, it's a learning, it's to what's to say, be careful, be aware of it, that the amount of water that you use, or the type of paper that you're on, is going to dictate a little bit, well, quite a lot actually, as to when you proceed with what bit. Do you know what? This shadow color here, I'm going to add some burnt umber in it. See what happens. Because I want it to be, I don't want it to be black. I want it to be a bluey, browny, shadowy tone. So burnt umber, it's just the way I am. It's my go-to dark tone, isn't it? I've always used it. I don't think I'll stop now. Makeup artist.
Mm.
It's what we are. We're not artists anymore. Anyway, I'm just diddling around here, waiting for the paper to decide to dry itself off a wee tad. There's not much else to it, really. Where I'm putting, see what I mean? It's so damp that it's just, as soon as I put any colour, you want it. That's the funny thing. To a certain degree, you want it to go a bit like when you do what we're doing, or what I'm achieving or trying to get. Is, you know, when you use pastels, you put some pastel down, and then use your finger to smooth it out so you get that nice blend. That's the object of the exercise with dampening the paper. I'm trying to see if I can get. Does that look all right? That one, or is it that one? That one's too bright, I think, wasn't it? It's the original one. It's not. Just looking at the screen to see it, make sure it looks something like what I've got. Different. Anyway, it's just a matter of getting the right blend of water and letting it spread itself around. I never wanted to be a makeup artist, but with these portraits, you end up, there is an element of it. I think you're going to enjoy this. There's not a lot of, well, there's not 100 squillion colours involved. I'm not really looking at my sketch lines anymore either. think I'll add a little bit of pinky. I don't mind if it goes down a little bit because everyone's eyes got pinky bits in the bottom, haven't they? Or within them. Sounds like someone's trying to escape. Very good. I'm quite pleased with this. Did we say we could have an early lunch today?
No. It was absolutely chucking it down there.
Yeah, it's just I just raised my head up, and looked out the window because I could hear a noise, and I was just going to say, I don't know what it's like. It's not just, sometimes it's just one area, isn't it? As it's blowing across to you, Chris, or over towards Poole, or it's usually coming from Poole, isn't it? For me,
Been over me, so.
Well, it's predominantly west winds, isn't it? We get so usually I'm blaming Pauline for chucking her horrible weather over this one. It could be, Pauline could be an early warning system.
I could, yeah. I'll let you know when the next one's coming.
Especially in the summer, like, you know, you get a little text message on Facebook, look out, you're going to get soaked. Or what's the other one? Bring the washing in. That'd be more sense, especially for Chris.
I couldn't bring it in if I wanted to. That was the trouble. What's the weather like in Amsterdam?
I didn't hear that, sorry.
No, I was asking Anne if she's still there, what the weather was like in Blanford.
Halloween could be bad over there. Bit heathen, isn't it? There's the Anglo-Saxons' mind.
Just update, bit of thunder now.
Thunder. Oh, no.
Oh, yep. You hear it?
Yes, I can hear it.
Oh, can you still hear me?
Who?
Yeah, can't see
Yeah.
you then.
No.
No.
Oh, I love it.
Something's
No.
not with signal out, I think. No,
No.
I might have to come back in again.
Oh, right. Well, there's no barrier,
No,
so you're okay.
Yeah, you're all right now.
I'm back now, am I? I'm good. Yeah, it's just that rumble of thunder, and all of a sudden it just went on.
Anyway, what I was saying earlier about Stampit, there was this, the levels of gas coming up are a bit high. So the Bournemouth Council sort of said too high because they build a massive bonfire. And obviously, if you build something on top of something that's exuding gas, the gas builds up, and then you light the fire. There's a distinct chance that there could be a well of gas. I don't know what I was doing, but I was over there. Must have been a few years back now. It might have been the car boot sale or something like that. And some of the ground had got this. It was them. They were doing the hedgerow all the way along the side, playing We're Fixing the Hedge, but they were digging a trench. And I think the trench went right the way up to they've got like a, I don't know what you call it, environmental hut thing at the end before you enter the marsh. And they were building a trench right the way along the marsh, the recreation ground, up to it to lay some cables or some amenities anyway. And of course, where they were doing it, they were digging this trench, and you could see or get an impression of what the state of what was buried underneath. There were like bits of car engines and all kinds of bits, coming up. I remember at the time thinking, God blimey, people used to do that years ago. They didn't realise, you know, if you just stick the flipping its engine down the tip and whack it in the landfill without any thought that it's probably going to be there for about 4,000 years, slowly melting away.
Well,
Wow.
on my back garden, we've got a car, a bathroom suite, a rib boat, all buried under the, when we bought a piece of land from next door, we had a huge area to fill in because our garden is about 3 foot higher than next door. And to build it up, we just used everything. We always used to laugh if the time team ever come in the future. They'll think we've got a tsunami or something. A couple of miles away from the sea.
Well, I think, yeah, it's all right. But like you say, it's what it's doing now as it rots away.
Yes.
You're getting argon gas and all kinds of weird we didn't know about.
No, exactly.
Because if you some of the landfills, they've got you can see like poles sticking up where they're letting
And they let the gas in. They do that.
Methane's the one.
When we used to take all our garden, you know, waste out when we were working, and you could see all the steam coming off of it, and they there with the big diggers and that, drilling big holes down through, putting pipes down in to let the heat escape.
Terrible, isn't it?
A lot of combustion over there.
Yeah. So that's why there's no fireworks. I think well, the reason I'm chuffed is because it's poor old dogs go ballistic, don't they?
Yeah. When we were with the fair, and we used to be on Christchurch Quay for the regatta, and there was always firework displays over on Stampet, and it was lovely. We could just sit up in the window and look out and watch it all.
Yeah. No, this is where.
So no more.
No more. No. I think what I'm going to do might be you can follow my lead.
Yeah, another lot.
You can follow my lead if you like. Is I'm going to paint the thick bits under here of the eyelashes. I've actually sketched a few, and I can't get it get it fine. I want it to be really fine, you know. So what I'm going to do is paint the blobby bits at the bottom where the mascara is, and then use a sharpened watercolor pencil just to do the fine lines at the top, unless I can get a really fine line on the brush to do it. I just don't think I'm going to achieve it at the moment. So I think they're quite important bits, and I've gone into the acrylic area now, and I can't see where my pencil lines are, because I diligently, well, carefully put in the darks of the eyelashes, thinking, oh, just trouble is you can't paint them at the beginning, because if you do, it will just smudge even worse than it's doing anyway. And this is the rigger, so I'm not getting very fine lines off of it. Normally I'd turn it upside down, but and tack it upside down, but I can't be bothered. I don't know. You spent 15 minutes trying to get it out the right way in the first place. So I'm glad if I'm going to turn it upside down again now. I can just put a few in. Yeah, the wind's really bad here now. I can hear it coming through big time.
Brightening up a bit here, so it'll be coming your way soon.
Thanks, mate.
I don't say his name because he'll be alert. He's just sat next to me shaking, but he's not. He's not anywhere near as bad as he used to be. I mean, we've had the fireworks last night going off mad, and
perhaps he's gone a bit deaf, Chris.
I don't think so. I think it's because we're not Ralph anymore. I think he was always picking up on his fear, perhaps.
Yeah, might be.
Yeah, I've said that about Spike and Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah, one would do that. Spike wouldn't bark at all; he'd just ignore it. But as soon as Elvis starts screaming and shouting, then Spike gets fractious. He didn't go full Monty barking and that, but he would start, like you say, he would start shaking, and you could tell he was quite put out by it. But like you say, it's not in his nature to be like that. It was just Elvis went ballistic. It still makes me laugh now. It was one year, I said dozens of times, but I love it. It reminds me of it. He barked so much, he lost his voice. So there's like fireworks are still going off 11 o'clock, but he couldn't do it. He was trying, but there's nothing coming out. I thought, cool. It just made me laugh.
Thankfully, my boy doesn't bark. Neither of them barked. They just got absolutely terrified. They would just all over me and be clawing. I mean, I think it was last year or the year before, it was exceptionally bad. I think it was the year before last. They were pulling all the, pulling on all the
call.
It's more.
That's what I was saying. Well, because Stampit's not on, a lot of people with dogs around this area are going to be well chuffed.
Yeah, I bet.
The only thing I'm chuffed is what this is burnt sienna and don't know, burnt sienna. Just burnt sienna and a bit of raw sienna. I just wanted, because I haven't got red in my palette as such, I just wanted to see if I could put a little bit of extra sharpness into that. But it's the same old watercolor thing. Put a blob of color in and then clean water it underneath and see if you can blend it around. See what happens. Oh, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with.
Don't hold your breath for
Ah.
Looking at all this tiny brushwork, I'm thinking, oh God.
Well, I just do what you can, Chris, because I think yeah. Trouble is, this was planned earlier, quite a while ago.
That's great.
And
I'm up for a challenge.
That's what these Tuesdays are all about, isn't it? I just think it's amazing the things that we've taken on every week is, and it's because it's down. I know I find a lot of the images and one thing, but it's down to you guys really, because like to try different things, you know, every week. There's no barrier. I mean, the lion ones that I wrote to my friends saying, you know, do you mind if I use your pictures as reference for our group and that? And he said, carry on, do what you like, Dave, you know, which, but I sort of said to him, you know, never done a lion, but we're still going backwards, or backwards in memory ways, because we're thinking of George. He was doing lions.
Yeah.
Nicking pictures out of magazines and that. I thought, this is good though, because it's a real lion that still sat there in Namibia. Yeah, I said it right. Today, unless somebody's decided they want lion for lunch or something. Well, it's always that day. It's so bloody soul destroying, these bloody people. I think I was just saw a flash then. These people go around killing. Yeah, it is thunder, lightning here.
Yep.
They go around killing these lovely creatures. And the daft thing is, it's their inheritance. It's their inheritance, job creation, everything. People go there to go and see these bloody things. And you get these Americans go over with their guns shooting, trophy hunt shooting and that. You think, oh dear, what's the matter with these people? They watch too many movies. There's too many things on TV and Amazon where they go out, you know, shooting them up and that. Life is cheap on Amazon, isn't it? They just sort of, Arnie Schwarzenegger goes and kills 15 Russian mercenaries and then doodah. People watch it and think that's okay. There was on about it yesterday or this morning. There was a mini riot. Was it in Scotland? Dumfries or some, I don't know, one of the little towns over there. And that's just kids. And they were saying on there, you know, they're getting it, they're seeing it on flipping Amazon and think it's, you know, that sort of behaviour's simulated, isn't it? I don't know how I'm off for time, but I'm conscious that this is
10 to 12.
Yeah, that's okay. This is hard. And I'm fiddly. And I can see the attraction of doing it. These people that spend 3 days painting one hair and stuff. I can get where they're coming from. I know, well, I knew right from the get-go where I'd gone wrong, but I kept going. All will be revealed. Now what I'm going to do is I'll put some pencil lines up here, which I am fortunate enough I can still see them. So I'm just going to flick a few. Right. Oh, we've got a new person coming on the 15th of November. Ordered a ticket. We've had that before where people have booked it and I thought, woohoo, got all ready. I sent them the stuff and they haven't turned up. They've sort of cancelled and gone for a refund. Not that it's such a vast amount of money. But it'd be nice to have a few more. Showcase what we're doing. Wish I knew what I was doing right now. Well, I can tell you what I'm trying to do is avoid sticking my hand in the centre of that eye. I'm thinking, yeah, that don't look too bad, Dave. Everyone's going to say. But normal thing with, I'll put a line in there for now because it goes right the way along. So I'm pretty hunky-dory that I'm going to use some watercolor pencils at some point to do this bit. Do the eyelashes. Oh, eyebrow. No, eyebrow. Because it's one of those. Oh wow, that's really groovy, aren't it? I'm just going to stick a bit of tone on here. Bit too much, but that's me all over, isn't it? Stupid boy. Okay, give us a straight bit of tissue. I've got a bit. Just find the straight edge. That'll do. Like I said, I can sense a blob of white turning up. It was nice that lady that we did the portrait of though. She was absolutely gobsmacked. She was like, sent the thing, wasn't it? It's like, wow, that's me. That was really good. She was so pleased that it was that I'd done her smile for her.
Oh.
You've done my smile really good. Oh yeah, made my day that. Didn't like to tell her that I'd put it on website for sale. Possibly. It's not what it's about, you know. It's just that it's an opportunity. Wow. You're gonna have fun. I reckon Pauline's gonna go whoosh on me.
Don't put any pressure on me.
Nah, no at all. The yeah, the elephant in the room, as I say it, as far as I can see, are these eyebrows. Now, I've got loads of different watercolor pencils, but to be honest, you only need the one, don't you? One of a color. So, I mean, sometimes more is too much because you look at that and think, oh, what flipping color do you go for there? Not a clue. And it's gone all dark here anyway. So I'll pick a color, see where it goes. Try not to stick my hand on it. Because It's all right. My paper's too wet, so the pencil won't work. Ooh, there was a big flash.
Yep. Wait
I
for
got
it.
blue sky now.
Yeah, it's clearing up, isn't it, over our way?
A big flash of lightning just now. Thunder must be a long way away because I haven't heard it yet.
It's about, that was
It's
about
here.
10 seconds, wasn't it?
That was a big one.
Was
It
it?
was.
Right, can hear it now.
Hear it? I can feel it. Stand up for this, isn't it? The colour I've got here is aubergine. Can you believe it? Well, it's, I can't, they all look dark in the light here. So here I am, Dave the makeup artist again.
We're going to have a job doing that, aren't we, with our right hands? Turn it up, yeah.
Well, why I keep repeating it over and over, but what I find so much is that the paintings change. You know, the next day when you look at it, it dry and the paper dries. I think using a watercolor pencil gives it a softer feel to it, and it gives you more of a chance to direct because there's a lot of shadow in this area of the eye that you can just gradually build up. Hey, be a postman out in this, not me. I think he's turned up. I said, but they come right down, don't they? Some of them, quite a lot into the eye, and we've got, like I said earlier, we've got a big. I don't know what it is. There's those red hairs. I mixed up a bit of red paint earlier to accommodate them. Cobblers. Well, I wanted to do it in one brush stroke, but didn't quite come off. I'm having a wobbly hand day. Well, it's quite funny, really. Well, I often think sort of, I don't know, 10 minutes or no, an hour or so before I press the start button on the Zoom, that I'll just spend 5 minutes on a piece of rough paper painting straight lines, you know, a bit like a footballer, isn't it? You want to get a bit of get yourself up to speed, so to speak. But looking at that, the eyelash just goes just a bit beyond the edge of the eye, so I put a couple eyebrows. I can't press too hard because this paper is wet with the brush, with the pencil, and it'll just stick a hole in it. That'll cheer everybody up. Yay! Put it on my paper. You can use some different colours if you want. Get a brown. Well, I don't think I've done too bad a job here.
That looks good.
I think it's. considering it's the papers, you need to do this later, really, when the paper's bone dry, because then the marks will come out really sharp. But I think it'll work. It's working really well. Aubergine, yeah, that's a nice colour, isn't it? Aubergine is a sort of shadow colour, isn't it? Purpley. So yeah, it's not distinctly far off from where we want to be on the colour. Could put a line of it on that. On there, it might act as a sort of a shadow on one bit, on the shadow side, and then I can draw that. I don't know what that is. Is it some sort of line, isn't there, that goes right the way, right across? Beauty of pencils is that it does give you that subtle you can get a little bit more closer to this, to where you want to be, and just whether you want to do it in the eye bit, I do it on there just to try and put a bit of a roundness to it, try and correct my mistake from right at the get-go, which was not, the eyeball was slightly squashed. It's not as round as I wanted it, so I think it should be. Maybe not. Of course, with the paper being slightly damp, it will smudge anyway. If you've got one of these, I think this is the one, or this one. But being back at school with the magic. Look at, oh my gosh, look at that. Let's put that, we got to put a finer point on it. This is one of those swordfish. It's called a swordfish icon, which is, it's okay unless you've got 12 or 15mm pencils, then you need one with a slightly bigger hole. This one's called the swordfish curve, so I bought two. Actually, I've had a couple of these over the years and I quite like them. There goes that point that I was so proud. Oh, there goes the other bit. It's
Dave, on the top of the eyeball, just below the lashes, just above there, it looks light. Is that supposed to be?
There is that bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It is on the photo as well. There's like a line of it, and I've left it there deliberately, thinking.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, I did, but looking at it, there is a light bit behind there where the eyelashes are, and I haven't put them in yet. Or you put that in, then it gives it that was the bit I was trying to preserve. It's such a mess with all that stuff, with that mascara stuff on it. Anyway, I was thinking, how do girls do that? Because that, like, how do you wash it off without getting in your eye? And it's like having bits of coal or something. Shame about those. I would have liked to get those harder, but like Chrissy said, or someone did, right from the earlier on. Yeah, there's one. You could use a biro when it's bone dry. I'll do a couple, but when it's bone dry, you'll be able to flick them with a black biro, really sharp, you'll get a nice sharp finish to them, and the eyebrows. And the beauty of biro is it doesn't fade, does it? Well, not that I know, it'll outlive me and you. And you can just use it as a pencil to tighten a few bits up. Remember, I remember doing it. I did it a few weeks ago. I was sketching, you know, once I done my original sketch on the tissue and then transferring it over, and I was building up because the lines that you get once you sort of trace it through, I hate using that word because it's not really tracing, it's my sketch and I'm just transferring it. The lines that you get are so thin and fine, so and then you've got to use a pen or a pencil to sketch. And then I said, once after about 15 minutes of doing it, I said it wasn't a pencil, it was a biro I was using. It does work though, because they don't in a way it's handy because you can, they don't sort of swoosh away when you put watercolor on them or water. I think doing it this way is preferable. Yeah, there's more hairs over here than I've shown there. Some of those go forward. I think we do a few with the pencil and then sharpen them up with a flick of biro on them. It will look really nice. There's only when you suddenly I don't know what that is up the top there on the thing, whether I put it in or not, I don't know. Smudged it. Can do it on these. They've got shadows, so you can use the biro underneath the thick ones and it will show as a shadow. Or you don't quite know what it is. It could be either either. So I think it'd be easier to do when it's bone dry. You'll get a nicer result. Don't go overboard. Well, no, because I penciled these in and I wanted them to be quite pointy. See, my paper is sinking up and down like a banjo skin. As I do it, that one's a shame because it's gone a bit paint smudged a bit there. I'm all excited. I've got another load of paper coming. It's always a nice, exciting moment because I've never had a load of Langton paper before. So I'll just put a little bit of biro. I've got dozens of these biros. They're from the days, oh, thanks to Joyce, that is, previous life when I was using a printer with cartridges. So I used to use this firm to buy all my cartridges over the last 10 years or whatever, because they always sent a pen with your order. So it turned up with a pen in it. I thought, oh, that's thinky do. So I've got loads. I'll show you in a minute. There's a pot on my desk and it's overflowing with these bloody biros. But they're ace drawing biros. They're just black ink. So Do you know what? I'm going
Yeah.
to stop there because I think it's
nice. Good.
good. Well, it's good enough. It's better than I anticipated. Anticipated. Oh, dear. Sorry. Just remember where I put that black pen. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Anne has just texted me, so she's got to go and just say cheerio to everybody.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
bye,
Bye then,
bye,
Anne.
Anne.
Bye, Anne.
Take care. Bye.
I think she might have gone already.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
It was nice to see her, even if she was in the dark.
Yeah.
It was lovely. Yeah.
Is she going to stay like? Is she going to do that now? Do you think?
I think it's probably because Gordon sort of switched the computer on and sat her in front of her and left.
Yeah.
So she
Oh.
couldn't adjust anything. 'Cause and she was
Oh, it's nice. Nice to see her for a change.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
You'll
Gordon
be
had
doing this.
chiropody, he said.
If you'd be interested to see, I'll have another go at this when I get my new posh paper. See
Mm.
if you get to like this stage where you want to lift a bit of colour off, just to bring out some highlights or whatever. How it wangles it. What I'm going to do is put a little bit in here, and a little bit over there. Yeah, this is that cat's tongue brush. I just picked it up just for just because it's there already. I thought, wonder if that's something else you do with new things, isn't it?
Mm.
Try them out. You think, oh boy, I've got to use it. got to be stuck. Don't need a lot, just a little bit of it to say, yeah, I think I'm going to let it dry, and then perhaps tomorrow, later on, whatever, add a little bit of fine. Oh, there's a bit there I wanted. A little bit of fine, few fine lines, additional ones with watercolor pencil. There's a few flecks that have turned up. There's a couple down here. Yeah, it's all cockly here, so I made a good job of making it wet. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
Right.
Right.
You're so kind. But I was saying just now about the orange from last week. You can see this has been in the water. It's been in the waters. So I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to touch it. I'll just turn the paper over and play with the other side or bin it. But not everything works by putting it in the shower.
No.
Well, and that Two Rivers meet paper, I keep saying it till I die, that the surface on it is awful.
Mm.
It's like blotting paper. There's something wrong with it. Thinking about it, I'm definitely gonna. Oh, I disappear. So much for the early lunch. Sorry about that. True to my word.
Detail you put into that eye and how long it's taken.
Yeah.
When you look at these fine coloured pencil artists, when they do like the wild animals.
Yeah.
Must take them hours, mustn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they just do a tiny little section at a time, don't they?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I haven't got the patience for that.
No.
I think I'd lose my way, I think.
I kind of haven't got patience for that because it goes back to when I was at Pine Walk and that. I'd get up R5 paint-free pictures to sell during the day.
Oh
You know,
gosh. Mm.
not for, they'll be more contemporary, you know, figures walking on the beach sort of thing, but I could do, you know, a little row of them in sort of half an hour, quarter of an hour.
Oh gosh. Mm.
And I think it stems from that, because I think, well, if I spend a week doing one eye and making it look so realistic, it's unbelievable. I'm capable of doing it, but A, I wouldn't get the price that I think it'd be worth, and B, I might as well take a photo of it in the first place, because that's what I'm trying to achieve, is a photographic effect. I just love, I think the charm and the skill and the thing that the pleasure and that everybody tries to achieve, especially in watercolor, is to take 15 minutes, well, say half an hour to an hour, to paint something that is acceptable, that is nice, that is got a nice feel to it. And that's always going to be within me. I'm never going to do it and think anything else. I think
George's pictures were a bit like that, weren't they? They were almost too photographic. They were too good to be true. You know, it didn't look like a painting a lot of the time. It looked like a photo.
Who's painting?
George.
Well, yeah, you could tell that they were borrowed.
But they just looked, I mean, it was very, very clever. I'm not, I'm not knocking it at all. But at the end of the day, the pictures, they just looked like a photograph.
He used to like me. Well, I don't think he liked me, or
You've gone very quiet, Dave. Can't hear you.
It's all right, I changed the mic. He used to like me, or I don't know if likes the word, perhaps admired the fact that I used to, when he used to come up and ask me, what do you think, and I just, being me, I'd just say, oh, if I was you, that area there needs I think you've got a bit too much, and he'd love it, and he'd work, and because I see it in a different way to him.
Right.
Well, I think when I put a mount around that, I'm looking forward. I'll put it on the easel, which is parallel to my bed, to my head. So I'll wake up in the morning and there'll be something looking at me like,
Is the eye following you around the room?
always does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Why when I was sat here earlier, I was on the other side, because now I'm back where I normally am. This way around.
It's weird, isn't it?
Well, I've set obviously the setting was in the zoom, in the settings to rotate it.
Yeah, we're all in our right place now, aren't we?
I was lucky there, because the part that failed, the disk drive that failed, I thought, God, look at that. It's failed. And I bought it, or the order was October the 25th. So 2 days ago, or whatever. So they got a returns thing on their website. So I filled it in and sent it off. And they sent me a lovely email saying, dear David, we can resolve this. Here's a return label, blah, blah, blah. Send it back and we'll sort this for you. Well, the thing is, just because I sent the thing on the 25th that had failed, but it's been failing for months. Because when I've been switching the computer on, sometimes it would start up and run, and other times I'd have to go into different ways to get it to move. So that's what it's been all this time. So that's something, but I haven't taken it out of the machine yet. Hello, it's Halloween. It's Gordon. You just come off the roof.
Can you hear me at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Quiet, it's quiet.
Okay. I'm sorry, I forgot to put Anne's microphone on for her.
Oh,
Notice.
So,
Ah, that's
Yeah.
why she was talking that like.
Right, excuse me, I've got to pop off a minute.
yeah, she was doing reading. Anyway, I'm signing off for her now anyway. So
All right.
thanks for looking
Alright.
after her while I was out.
Take care.
Bye.
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 Get that homework done.
Oh,
Well, I'm going to go and find a small piece of paper because I don't think I'm going to do one quite as
Right.
large as Dave.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
That
go
way as well.
now. So
All right.
good
bye.
luck
See you
with
next
your
week.
with your eyes. See you
Take
next
care.
week.
Yeah,
Okay,
Take care.
bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Go for it.
Bye. I'll be at my
Bye.
sister's next Tuesday morning, so you have a different.
Right. Different outlook.
And then
I'm
possibly
going now, so
Tuesday, so I should be all right for the meeting.
all right.
So
Anyway,
all the best with that.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Yeah.
yeah. Good luck.
Right. Thanks. Thanks,
Okay,
Dave.
thanks very much, Dave.
Take care
Bye.
then.
Bye, everybody.
Tummy's,
Bye. Bye-bye.
Tummy's rumbling.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. Wanna hold you so. Oh, at long last, love has arrived. I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Pardon the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The thought of you leaves me weak. There's no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. Here we go then.